You are an insane person. I am reporting you to the authorities. Are you human? Do you know what human things you're capable of? Do you know what human limits you have? Have you ever tried to overcome them? If you were a kid at some point, you could have learned how to ride a bicycle, and life seems infinitely better. You feel like a god that has captured a machine and has learned how to tame it. What if I told you you're not a god and you're gonna fall off that bike at least once in your lifetime? Well, that makes you a human, I think. And it's not about bikes, really. I'm talking about how far humans can go before they realize they can't human anymore. Caves. Have you ever been to a cave before? I know I haven't. And I know that actually, I've been to a cave. And I've realized that it's a scary thing. Being positioned in between rocks in a way that isn't easily audible. Have you ever heard of a nutty putty cave incident? Where a guy got in a cave and then he kind of forgot where he was supposed to be going, and there was a very narrow opening going downwards into what was supposed to be a little chamber, but there was a different part of the cave where it wasn't a chamber, and he got into that, head down by the way, he got into that and he got stuck and he died there. That's a thing that happened. So it got me thinking, why do people go into caves? Why do we go into these tiny closed off spaces? Well, no, I don't. Why do people go into those tiny little spaces between rocks, far away from the human reach? And not only that, into those very, very narrow pathways. Why do people go there? You know, obviously, if you have claustrophobia, you wouldn't go. Duh, understandable. But for those who go, why? My question to all the people that either go above and beyond the human ability to survive. Why do we do that? Is that some kind of thing? You know? Some kind of mental instability that allows us to believe that, yeah, I can actually get into that tiny little space between rocks and not die. Why do we do that exactly? I don't think I got the memo. Why do we go? Okay, I understand why we go into space, but space is like a science thing, right? Spelunking, cave exploring, is kind of just like an urban thing that people with no special qualifications do. And like there are scientific expeditions into caves to like collect samples of rocks and old water to see what kind of microelements are going in there. That's fine. I'm talking about people that go into caves just to go into cave and go out and be like, hey, I've been to a cave, by the way. I went there, almost died, and I didn't die. Because I'm cool like that. I'm awesome, by the way. I think we, as humans, often forget where our boundaries with nature are when we dive deep into the ocean, when we dive deep into caves, when we go deep into the forest. I think we don't really expect to be humbled in the way that Mother Nature humbles us by reminding that you're a mortal human. You are mortal and you're going to die if you don't follow just some basic intuition, you know? My point is, if you're going into obviously those very dangerous ventures into places that no human should be in the first place, I genuinely think you're a psychopath. I don't think you're cool at all. If you came up to me and was like, hey, guess where I went this weekend? Into a very dangerous cave where there's a passage that is this wide. I went there. And I feel like you are an insane person. I am reporting you to the authorities. First of all, because that's not safe. Not all the caves are explored. But second of all, because... do you think you're like better than anybody else in this world? Do you want a cookie or something? Because I'm not giving it to you. In fact, all I'm giving you is a warning that next time you're gonna come to me with news like that, I'm just gonna say bye-bye, you are a crazy person. If any of you have gone spelunking, please go in the comments, tell me why. At most, what you're gonna see in a cave is some stalactites and some stalagmites. Maybe a body of water. And also a bunch of spiders and bats and rats and dirt and mud and darkness. Where are you going with this? What's the goal? If you go into the ocean, okay, there's at least fish. If you go into space, there's at least stars. If you go into caves, there's death and darkness. I personally don't understand that, and by no means do I condone spelunking. And if you do that, well, I guess I just asked you to tell me why do you do that, but also please don't talk to me. Thanks. Yeah, so I guess the main point is I'm just kind of mad that people do things that they're not supposed to. Thanks. Bye. Subscribe.